on those they think they can most vilify. They can most seem to be a drain on the state.
I'm Dave Scott from Mad Pride. There's a real concern that people with mental health issues are going to be wrongly ruled fit for work, find themselves forced onto job seekers allowance, immediately facing a reduction in their income. They're not going to be able to get jobs in the current job market, and they're going to find themselves, after several months being on job seekers allowance, forced onto the new government mandatory work programmes, workfare.
My name is Kim Sparrow and I'm from a group called Single Mothers Self-Defence. There's going to be a ceiling. This new benefit called Universal Credit is going to have a ceiling on the amount of benefits that we can claim, which includes child benefit. It includes child tax credits, it includes working tax credits, it includes housing benefit, it includes council tax, it includes all the benefits that we at the moment are entitled to. And we know that there are going to be more punitive regulations with it, that we're going to lose money. We're going to be facing a total cut to the social fund, which many of us use to escape violent situations, to try and reset up our homes, to get away to safety with the kids.
Part of this bill is that people have to look for jobs, which could be like 90 minutes, up to 90 minutes away from where they live, and this is a long, it's a long time to travel and be away from your children.
The Lords are debating the abolition of the social fund today, which is one of the reasons we're absolutely here protesting against the welfare reform bill and that measure, in particular.
From the Mental Health Resistance Network, and I've got a long-term mental illness. And I've actually been in hospital. I've been in hospital so many times, I don't even know how many times it was. And at the moment I get DLA, and I get quite a high rate of DLA. But of course with the DLA, you've got a long form to fill in, and you can tell them exactly what the problems are, and exactly what your history is, and everything about you. And obviously you get a long statement from, your care team and everything like that. But under this new PIP thing, it's just going to be tick boxes.
Thanks for everyone for turning up for the lobby itself. It's important. We're at the critical stage in this campaign where the legislation is going through the Lords. If there's any amendments, it will then come back to the Commons. So there's an opportunity, even if we can just get a breakthrough on some of the amendments, that we can then bring it back to the Commons and try and defeat this legislation. Now, this is do or die for many members of our community. If we don't win this battle now, many of them will go to the wall, and they are doing already.
John Packer, I'm the Bishop of Ripon and Leeds in Yorkshire. I have a particular amendment down which we won't reach today, which is to do with ensuring that children and therefore families continue to receive child benefit when they are unemployed and despite the possibility of a cap on their benefits. The government have been clear that there can be movement on some of the elements of the welfare reform bill, not as much as many of us would like. It is part of the task of the Lords to examine the draft and to say these are places where it is really damaging. For instance, those who are disabled, for instance, single mothers, and to say, come on, government, we can actually do better than this. We can produce a welfare reform bill which is much less damaging to those in most need than it was when it came to the Lords.
The current government is building upon some of the legislation and some of the ideas that were developed under New Labour. I think that the Labour Party now has learned some of the lessons about what their new legislation is, how the impact will have on some of the poorest within our community. But we need now much more severe and serious opposition from the Labour Party to prevent this legislation going through. It's beginning to emerge, and the reason it's beginning to emerge is because people are turning up at constituency surgeries of individual Labour MPs to say how they're suffering at the moment. In my constituency now, we are having to deliver food parcels to keep people alive. Why? Because they're having their benefits cuts under the existing regime, and as a result of some of the disability benefit cuts that have taken place through the legislation that the Labour Party introduced in government. The welfare reform bill will make it so much worse, and I think Labour MPs are beginning to wake up to that, but we've got to defeat this legislation.
Well, I'll take your word for it,
we have to keep
because I thought they're all Blairite hard righters.
No. There's people like Jeremy Corbyn and others who are campaigning as well. Yeah. On this issue, we've got to pin them round. We've got to pull them round.
I thought he was the last Labour man left in the Labour Party, as the rest are all Blairite hard right, extreme right. But you assured me that there's one or two others left, so I'll take his word for it.